I'll read number 8 of the Shokushu, entitled Plus Life. The absolute universe is one. Here, two opposing actions appear, and the relative world is born. This is called yin and yang. In the Orient, plus in the Orient, and plus and minus in the West. A bright, vigorous life is called a plus life, and a dark, oppressive one is called minus. Let's work towards a plus life by eliminating all minus items, ideas, from now on. Yeah, so I hope everyone is well this morning. I'm excited this morning because we're starting a new section, one of my favorites, which is Tohei Sensei's 13 Rules for Instructors. I've been studying them for many years to try to understand them and make them more deeply, take them more into my practice, and they're not easy. There's things in them that none of this is perfect, so there's always things in there in each one of these 13 rules that tweak something within us and make us realize, oh, I could be improved in that area. Not quite doing that with other people, am I? Or with my students. So it's always an ongoing practice, not just to become a better student, but also to become a better teacher, if that's what you're engaged in. Yeah, so the first one that we're working on today is Aikido is the way to union with Ki of the universe. We should set the main purpose of our practice to unify mind and body and become one with the universe. So, becoming one with the universe, maybe we think because we are practicing Aikido, we're all engaged in that. And maybe in some sense we are, but it's not something that happens in a vacuum, is it? It's not something that happens all at once. No, becoming one with the universe is our practice, which means that it happens in every single moment, with every single person we meet, in every situation we find ourselves engaged in. Everything that comes to us arises in our life, whether it be petty or grand, is the opportunity for us to practice becoming one with the universe. Yes, we are all already one with the universe, but we don't practice experiencing that. As human beings, we have a choice. And our choice is always either to engage in becoming one with the universe, with experiencing our oneness with the universe, or not, to support a sense of separation and negativity. That's what the Shokushu is about that I read this morning. So we have a little problem here, don't we, that we have to really look at closely. Our problem is that we like pleasure and don't like pain. So that whenever we meet someone, we're looking for to feel that pleasure with them. In order for us to feel that pleasure with them, we're looking to see that they treat us lovingly and with respect and kindness. But we know that even someone that we're very close to and spend a lot of time with, most of the time, yes, we're feeling that pleasure when we're with them. That's why we spend so much time with them. But even the ones we're closest to, there are moments that arise where we feel disrespected, where we feel mistreated, looked down upon, or not treated, at least lovingly and kindly. And in those moments, then, instead of feeling pleasure, we feel pain. But do we have to feel that pain? That's the question. Is our practice to go ahead and feel that pain? Because the pain is a sense of separation. That's what we're feeling. That's what that pain is. a sense of not being one with that other person. In that moment, of course, that other person is the universe, because our practice is always now. So whatever we're faced with, how we treat it is how we're treating our sense of, our experience of being one with the universe. So our practice is to not just spend time and have fun with other people, that's nice, but when we're doing that, we have to really engage and look carefully and lovingly to find those points that we love and respect about the other person, those good points in the other person, so that we can be with them no matter what they say to us, or what a difficulty they're having, or what misunderstanding they might be suffering under. Or they might be just trying to correct your problem, of a problem that they see you have, and that doesn't feel good. So how can we be with another person, even at their most challenging, and still treat them lovingly and with kindness? Only if we remember and value and support those good points that we have about them. This is our practice, you know. And Shinichi Sensei, by the way, he writes this monthly blog, and I edit it for him into proper English, and I'm editing the latest one this weekend. I want to read you something from it that is appropriately addressing this subject. In the practice of Shinshin Tuitsu Aikido, simply pointing out what is wrong with a student cannot be called teaching. Teaching is about guiding the other person until he or she can do it, which is what instructors need to be learning all the time. So, this is what we're talking about today. Let's do some deep breathing. Of course, learning to become one with the universe in every moment, in every activity, in every beat of your heart. Well, that, of course, starts with ourselves. When, we're all people, every one of you are people with strong characters. Otherwise, you would not be here in this moment. So you recognize that. And use that strength of character to address the changes that have to be made, because none of us are perfect. And instead of beating ourselves up about having made a mistake, it's like refinishing a piece of furniture. You don't get mad at the furniture or criticize the furniture because it needs refinishing. It's not its fault. It's just something that needs to be done. And if you didn't value that piece of furniture, you would not be refinishing it. You would throw it away. So don't throw ourselves away. We don't disrespect ourselves. We don't complain about ourselves. And when we learn to treat ourselves with respect that we deserve and loving kindness, then it's so much easier to do that with other people. And then we recognize that in me, because we've made that mistake, when someone is not maybe respecting us in the way that we would like, we understand why. And we understand they are a good person. Everyone is a good person with faults. I never look at someone like they're a bad person but has a few good qualities. No, everyone is a living, loving, wonderful human being, but no one is perfect. So, this is the way of the universe, folks. It's learning to be one with the universe. That's what we're practicing. Not a vague thing, but a very practical, doable, practicable thing. So please give me your thoughts about this. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Or ask me a question if you like.
Good morning, Sensei.
Morning, Sensei.
Good morning, David. How are you?
Hanging in there. Nah, it's great. Of course, you answered my question in your first response there. It's like you're talking to me. But my initial question to myself in the beginning of the class was, how do you be in union with Ki if, say, you're not feeling healthy or you're in pain? That was my initial. It's much easier to be, when you're not in pain or in some sort of whatever. But as we went to, then the breathing went fairly well, and then we went to expansion and contraction. I thought of Olaf Sensei last week and when he was experiencing. So I was doing that, and then all of a sudden I went, wait, who's breathing right now? The one that's always complaining? No, I don't think so. So that was my experience in that moment, that like the one breathing now doing this thing is not the same one that's worrying about pain and discomfort. It's just happening. And I just want to share that experience and it was noticeable.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah, it's so revealing. We have a choice. That's the one thing that we have that we so regularly forget. We have a choice. When we treat the universe with respect and kindness, that means ourselves and others, with respect and kindness, we are suddenly feeling good. Voila. We are one with the universe. Wait a minute. Why would we do anything else? Because we do have that choice. So why would we do anything else? Yeah, it's not just who is doing that. It's not like there's another demon resting in our bodies. No, we make that choice. It's just a mistake. It's just a mistaken notion. It's seeing life backwards. And it's so readily practiced on earth that we grow up hearing nothing but that, or not nothing but that, but we grow up hearing a lot of that, at least 50%. And so that's the way we respond. That's the choice we make, And that's okay. Even seeing that we've made that negative choice, that's okay. That's not something to beat ourselves up about either. Because we have a choice. And just like when we're sitting in meditation and our mind wanders off, right? And we catch ourselves, oh, wait, I want to meditate. So we come back. We don't say, oh, you stupid idiot, you're never going to get this. No, we just come back. And every time we come back, we get stronger. So when we see ourselves make the mistake of being negative about ourselves or someone else, we just make the choice and are back. And we become stronger every time we do that because we're changing our subconscious mind. This is a beautiful thing, this practice. So glad you're here.
I guess it's it.
Yeah. Okay, someone else, please.
Good morning, Sensei.
Good morning.
Thank you for this opportunity and for leading us in the meditation. I had a couple of questions actually, which I'll start with. Can you please give us an example of how you corrected a student without pointing out what they were doing wrong? And then how you would apply that to your daily life, how you would apply that principle to your daily life, an example in your daily life of how you do that also.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. You're not going to. It's not that you're trying not to point out what it is that they're doing wrong. It's that you are pointing out what the right way is. You're supporting them in the right way, right? So we often show right way. I will show the right way, and then I'll show the wrong way, and then I'll go back and show the right way. Now you try it, and let's see. And then the person sees for themselves, oh, I see. I'm just making that choice to do that. I could make the choice to do this. And then you begin to support that process that takes years and years, of course. And, in daily life, that's exactly what we're doing with each other all the time. When someone mistreats you and dismisses you and insults you, at least that's the way you feel about it. When you notice you're feeling that, then you know, okay, I have a choice here. You know right away, you have that feeling in your body. That's what happens with me, is when I have that feeling in my body, if I'm paying attention, I know I have that choice. So the key here, like always, is paying attention. All right? So we have to remember that it's all about being in awareness. It's all about paying attention. Nothing can happen for us if we're ignorant of it, if we're blind to it within ourselves. So it's paying attention to that opportunity of making a positive choice, a plus choice, a choice that supports myself and you at the same time. If it isn't win-win, it isn't a positive choice. If just I win, then I didn't actually follow that principle. It has to be that we both go, I see, within ourselves, with that feeling. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
But can I ask another question?
Yes, you can.
So in many societies, it's often the role of women to take care of the family, of the husband, to, serve the husband and the family, and which I think is a very admirable role. It's part of the natural feminine aspect of wanting to give and to be kind and to serve and helping others. I think it's very positive. However, in some cultures, in many cultures, it feels like there's been a sense of taken advantage of, women being taken advantage of in that role, and then women feeling abused or feeling, not treated well, and feeling like, oh, they want their freedom and they shouldn't be a slave to the man and to the family. And so how do you see that, or can talk about this issue that's come up in society?
Yes, I'm aware that there are societies that are further right than our society, more conservative and more paternalistic. And in those societies, of course, it appears that women are certainly being forced to be servile instead of, you know, but I think that's an as-if situation. And even though it may be quite obvious, and if I find myself in one of those countries, then I'll be dealing with it directly. But in this country, in my life and in your life, it's not that that doesn't exist here. It exists here also. And I think that it's important for us all to understand, both women and men, that it's everybody's position. It's everyone's role to serve. You know, this is the idea of keeping one point, extending ki, relaxing completely. These principles that we practice here, these are principles for all of us to practice in serving each other, you know. It's like even in the dojo, I see all the time that women are treated differently than men. And maybe, you know, in my dojo, well, I'm not the head instructor of the dojo anymore, but when I was head instructor of the dojo and the way I am when I'm with, in my classes with people, you know, I do try to make a point of, you know, reminding everybody, which is what I'm doing right now today, that it's not a male-female thing. It's not a gender difference. Yes, we have different qualities that are emphasized in males and females, but we both have all of those qualities within us, and it behooves us for all of us to develop all of those qualities of benevolence and compassion and generosity and loving kindness. It's for all of us to do this with each other. It's for us all to serve each other at all times. So, yes, in some countries that might not be being practiced too openly, but it probably even exists there. There are people that know that there. You know, the world is becoming more and more complex at all times. And so it's more and more difficult to go somewhere else and to look over there and see what should be being done. So I always say, just stay here in my own life. What is my responsibility? And not just to everybody as a general idea, but now to you, because I'm talking to you. This is all there is. So am I doing this? Have I made this choice? You know, it's easy to do when it's like this, but when someone is being perhaps causing a little difficulty, so then we see what our practice is worth. Okay, listen, thank you very much for that. I love that questions. And I'm so happy to see you all. Thank you for coming, and looking forward to seeing you all next week. Domo arigato gozaimasu. Bye-bye.